Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, and let's get into it. So today we are flying out the MiG-29 against the MiG-29. Yes, the 9.12A against the 9.13, the German one against the Soviet one. And to actually take a look on if we actually can see the difference between that. These first battles, they were made with minimum fuel, with no fuel consumption, and we ended up crashing. But afterwards, we did use the fuel. Remember the 913, we had not only the ECM packages internally, which made it a little bit heavier, and also it has a little bit more fuel. It's not by much, it's like 300 kilograms or something like that of fuel. So for an aircraft like this, it's not that much. But as you see, especially when it's light, it does feel like the 9.12A has a little bit of an advantage. It's not by much, it is really similar, like you barely feel it, but in the end it is a thing that you feel on the aircraft. You will feel that if you played a lot on the 913, you will see that the 912, the German one, it feels a lot lighter. It feels a lot more nimble. Not a lot more, but a little bit. And it will be only felt by the people that actually played the other MiG-29 like a lot of time. Beyond that, it is basically the same. Obviously, the missiles, radar, everything else is basically the same. So the only difference in-game is the weight and fuel. You can see by the max fuel that the 913 actually can have. It is 1 minute more. So as you see, it's not much, right? So yeah, it does feel like I don't know, a fresh breeze with the MiG-29 flying the 912. It is just probably going to become my favorite MiG, just because you kind of don't need the extra fuel, especially with the external fuel tank that you can actually have, and we don't have ECM in the game right now. So for not that the 912A is better, technically the 913 is better, but the 912 will have this tiny little like percentage of advantage that it will make the ultimate difference between that. I really want to test the 912 against an F-16 and MatAWG and other things, probably tomorrow. I have some other videos coming up today, but still it is fun to actually fly it. It's a little bit more fun than the 913, which was kind of what I was actually expecting, you know. So as you see here, while we are kind of empty, it is basically the advantages goes to the 912, probably due to the extra weight on the ECM systems, right? But it's barely bearable. It's barely a difference. As you see there on the one circle, we just made the head-on like basically at the same time, and yeah, we are not doing head-on shots like I did kind of there, but just because head-ons are kind of a luck kind of thing. You know, it has obviously a part of ability to actually use the cannon, but for the most part it can be kind of a luck thing. And when you are behind the enemy, you can actually confirm that you are actually beating him on the dogfight, right? So it is a more clear way. So as you see, I'm just winning every single one. Kind of this tiny little difference at the end kind of makes a lot of difference, right? Here, and we are flying against a Toilet, which is one of our mods in the Discord, so thank you Toilet to help me out. And he and I, we kind of fly in the same way, kind of, right? So it is a little bit more similar in the piloting kind of skill, I think, than the other friends that I actually flew with. But still, as you see, like it's a direct head-on with the aircraft, so it's kind of a tie, you know. In the one turn here, one circle is just a tie almost every time, and then it's part of the pilot skill to actually use better your energy than the other pilot, and then it's just a matter of having to know how to use that. As you see, I'm trying to pull behind him and not go into a direct contact with an interception route with him, just because I want to maintain kind of the on his 6, basically. That's the big idea behind it, right? That's it. I got a crit, pretty good crit, but he was still flying. And if you are not careful, this can happen. You can overshoot. So yeah, that's why I try to always kind of, in a scissors kind of situation like this, for example, I try to always draw a line perpendicularly to the 6 of the enemy and try to just maintain that kind of line being flown, as you see here. And sometimes I just decide to go for it. What happens if you decide to go for it and it's not the time? Yeah, this. You basically overshoot and you give the enemies the chance to actually shoot at you. He didn't have the energy to actually pull the last maneuver there, but still, we are back on that line. So yeah, I'm just drawing the line on the perpendicular of his flight path, as you see, on his 6, aiming for his 6, trying to maintain a good speed, but also trying to maintain his 6 to not overshoot. Here I try to just along the, basically make it so that the turn is longer, so that I can actually have time to actually aim and go for it, go for the kill. And I completely miss it, so I have to be careful with that. So yeah, I have the advantage. It's clear that the aircraft was just a little bit better. I was able to pull a little bit more Gs, but overshoot, almost got killed there. Completely my mistake, just a very bad decision there. And here we started to use full tank with fuel consumption. So as you see, we are using 28 minutes, which is the max fuel of the 912A, and he was using 29 minutes, which is the max fuel of the 913, the Soviet one. And you will see that this took kind of a lot of time. So yeah, one circle again. Kind of a tie here, so no head-on shots, just a tie. We went for the one circle kinda again. Yeah, one circle. Same tie. No shooting in head-ons. We go for the one circle again. So as you see, when the aircraft is actually filled with fuel, the difference between the two kinda blends in a little bit. I don't know why exactly, but it is just weird due to the fact of having more fuel together with the ECM. So the 913 should have felt more in this kind of situation than before. I think that's due to the fact that the probable fuel tank, that the last fuel tank that you use, is probably the one that has a little bit more fuel. That's the only reason that I can think of. So when we are kind of filled, like right here, the difference between the two, it is the same, but the two of them are like sluggish, right? And when you are light, it becomes a little bit more apparent on the 912, probably due to the fact that the last fuel tank that the 913 consumes, it is the one that it has a little bit more fuel than the 912. So the 912 becomes a lot lighter than the 913, not only with the ECM, but also with the extra weight of the fuel. It's the only reason that I can think of that the 913 can actually make sense on losing this battle against the 912A with the minimum fuel, because all the other reasons that don't make sense, right? Just the way that the fuel is. And it is funny, even though the difference is still there. I mean, he still has more fuel than me. You basically, when the both of us are heavy, you feel less of a difference. So it's a very funny little thing, actually. As you see, it's just a tie after a tie. We cannot get it right. Here I tried a very dangerous maneuver. Just wasn't the best advisable thing to do, going up like this, but another tie. So yeah, we're just keep going until one of us actually starts to lose a little bit. I try to put in more of a rate fight kind of situation because I am a little bit lighter, so it should be a little bit better. And we are close to have fuel. I mean, the more basically he takes to kill me, the better advantage I will have due to that fuel fact that I told you guys. So it kind of becomes a matter of a ticking clock, right, for the 913. Eventually, he will be heavier than me. Not that he will be heavier than me, he already is, but he will feel a little bit more to that fact that I told you guys before. So, as you see, we're just consuming fuel. I was trying to maintain a very good speed here. You know, the MiG-29 actually turns good beyond like 600, so 650, something like that. So I was trying to just maintain a little bit more speed and just elongate a little bit of the turn to try to get him in the rate fight. But it's just too similar, man. I think at the end, in a normal battle, it will always come down to the pilot between these two. And it's even sad to see these two fighting. I mean, they should be fighting together, right? But still, it's fun to actually see the differences between them. And the skin of the GDR one is just, oh, it's so good. This skin is amazing. See, there, I'm just elongating the turn a little bit, getting a little bit more speed. Then I can actually turn a lot more, as you see. And he's trying to climb to make me lose energy while I try to follow him. But he's actually losing energy, so it is pretty much a rate fight here. The first one to give up on the rate fight loses, and he's in a disadvantage because he was already at the front, so yeah. So, completely got him on his 6 and kill. So, very good kill, very long dogfight. Still had only 6 minutes of fuel. The dogfight took like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, so it was a very long one. Here is a short one. To circle, I think. We went into kind of a like 2 circles, but almost in a rate fight there. So head on, no kill. And then kind of did a mistake here. I didn't turn as much as I should have. And just went for it, and he got me. So it depends on the pilot. If you do a mistake, you're dead. If he does a mistake, he's dead. And that's pretty much it, right? It is a very fun aircraft to fly, man. I cannot wait for you guys to actually feel these aircraft, because this is how a MiG-29 should feel like, because this is the original one. This is the most original experience in a MiG-29 that you can have, because it's the older one, it's the first one. Of course, it's a exported variant, but still, it is pretty much the same as the normal Soviet 912. Just trying to maintain a good position on his 6, choosing the right time to actually do the attack. When I do the attack, I have to be sure that I will not get a reversal on me and actually get killed. So every time that I just elongate a little bit, it's due to the fact that I'm actually choosing the right moment to attack. Because if I attack on the wrong moment and I miss, it will be just GG, right? So yeah, he tried to go for a head-on there. Obviously, head-ons are not allowed. Another head-on, another tie. So it's just very similar, man. We are pulling the max G of the aircraft, and we are basically pulling the same Gs because we are just in the same kind of situation. Here, he almost got me because I wasn't actually being able to actually put the nose on him. Another one. Now I put the nose a little bit further, and he was reacting to me, as you see there. When I turned to the left, he turned to the right to actually react to me and put me on the swivel for the actual one circle. This is the correct move in certain situations like this, especially when you know that you are in a little bit of a disadvantage, right? And I cannot wait for more modern MiG-29. It's just, it's the best aircraft. So yeah, here now, same thing as before, drawing the line perpendicularly to his 6. Just trying to make him be a little bit horizontally faster than me, so that he kind of overshoots the scissors, and then I can actually do the attack. Here, try to go for it, but it was kind of a bad one. I just decided to give up and go again for his back. As you see, just decided to maintain the position on the scissor. I'm controlling the fight a little bit, so there's no reason. He's a little bit to the front of me, so I have a little bit of an advantage, so there's no reason, right, to me to attack unless I have the full potential here. Now I decided to go for a full loop here because I thought, he's he's beginning to be a little bit faster than me. And if I did the loop, I would make him actually lose a little bit of speed and would be a little bit slower than him. Maybe I was just thinking that a loop might work, and it kind of did, right? It's basically the same, but was controlling the speed there. It's not the wobble for the aircraft flight model, it is actually me trying to maintain the speed. And yeah, I just got him on a rate fight, and that's it. It's basically GG, right? But yeah, it is down to the pilot. The pilot needs to think a lot before doing actions against one another. At the end of the day, who attacks first will always have the advantage, especially with missiles. So I think the differences between them are just minor, actually. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about the differences between the 913 and 912, and subscribe, guys. See you.